Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Bane. Today we're going to be ranking the top 10 best weapons in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. So I wanted to make this video because I've been playing this game a lot recently, and it's honestly so much fun. It's probably one of my favorite Call of Duty games of all time. Probably not my favorite, but it's definitely up there. It's just such a fun game to play. It feels great. It looks amazing. And the guns in this game feel so satisfying. Gunplay is just probably the best in COD history. So I just wanted to do a top 10 ranking of the best weapons in the game, and this is a fairly objective list on just what I think are the best weapons in the game. There's, one or two weapons that I don't really use that much overall, but I just know from my experience of going against other people that they are one of the best weapons in the game. So anyways, the gameplay in this video is all my recording from me playing the game, and so I hope you guys pay attention to the gameplay because it's some pretty high quality and shows the potential of these weapons. And this is all within the last month or so of me playing this game again on the PS5. I've gotten so many good gameplays, and I just cut down some footage that I found to be pretty satisfying to watch for all these weapons. So I hope you guys appreciate, the gameplay, and we're just going to get right into the ranking list. And by the way, I just wanted to say, yes, you can play Modern Warfare in 2025. On the PS5 at least, I have crossplay disabled. The game is still active. I find matches any time of the day. I'm usually playing in the evening and at night when I'm not working, but no issue finding games. I played Team Deathmatch, I played Domination like pretty much 99% of the time, and a little bit of Team TDM or Search and Destroy sometimes. But yeah, if you guys want to play this game, it is not dead, and I just want to let you guys know you can play it for sure on the PS5 or PlayStation, and you can turn crossplay off so you don't have to deal with PC cheaters, and there's no issue finding games. So we're gonna get right into this list at number 10. Alright y'all, so coming in at number 10, I have the AX-50 sniper rifle. So I wanted to include one sniper on this list because I do think that a sniper deserves to be in the top 10 weapons in the game if there is one that is really good in the game, and the AX-50 is really good. So I decided to include it because, in the hands of the right player, a sniper can be deadly, as we all know. Quick scoping, you can rush with a sniper, or you can kind of sit back, use it how it's intended, and still, pop off with it. So I think that the AX-50 is the best sniper overall in this game. The mix of quick handling and damage and range is just really good, and I just find it to be the most consistent option. There's the SPR and the Kar 98K, which are also marksman rifles, but you can build them out to just be pretty much sniper rifles. But they're not as consistent. I get a lot more hit markers, especially at longer ranges, and the mobility on the X50 can pretty much be built to be just as fast as those, and your range is still going to be better and more consistent one-hit kills at longer range. And I just find it more satisfying to use. It's an actual sniper rifle. It's not a marksman rifle, and it looks pretty awesome, especially in this gold camo here. Even though I have platinum on my snipers, but I put on gold with my gold deagle, and I was like, man, this thing looks amazing. But anyway, that's the AX-50. I just wanted to include one sniper, like I said, and I don't snipe a lot in Call of Duty, but every now and then I will pull out the snipers, and I think they deserve a mention among the top 10 best weapons in this game, and probably in general most Call of Duty games. So I just wanted to go ahead and do that at number 10. Alright, next up at number 9, I have the MP7 submachine gun. So the MP7 is definitely one of the most iconic weapons from this game. It's been good the entire time this game has been around, and I do think that it is a very good weapon. And by the way, coming in at number 9 on this list, it's a very good gun. It might only be number 9, but like I said, there's a lot of good weapons in this game, so being a 9th best weapon in the game is really good. So I just wanted to get that out of the way if I didn't already say that. But the MP7, fast fire rate, low recoil, comes with 40 rounds in the magazine by default, and it's just really good. It melts. It's very good at long range. That's one thing about the SMGs in this game, Modern Warfare, is that they have insanely high bullet velocity in comparison to other Call of Duty games. So hitting shots at long range is super easy. You can comfortably take gunfights with pretty much every SMG in the game, except for maybe one or two, just because they just not that good, like the Striker 45, for example. But you can take on gunfights, 30, 40 meters with the SMGs in this game comfortably and win gunfights. Just because that velocity and the low recoil on pretty much most of the guns makes it possible. But anyway, the MP7, really like this gun. I do think that it's slightly less powerful than some of the other SMGs in this game, and there are going to be quite a few SMGs on this list, but it's just still really good. I had to include it on the list because it's just really consistent. You can never go wrong with using the MP7. I feel like sometimes they can get outgunned a little bit up close, by other SMGs. Maybe the MP5, for example, might outgun it. Maybe the Uzi. And it all depends on the player, of course, and if you hit all your shots and whatnot, and if you shoot first. But the time to kill might be slightly slower than some of the other best SMGs, but overall, it's still a very good gun, and I would recommend using it. And it's the MP7. I mean, it's really glad they added it to Modern Warfare. Even though it was only in Modern Warfare 3, the original, I still think it's one of the most iconic weapons in the Modern Warfare series of games. So at number 9 is the MP7. Alright, at number 8, I got the PP19 Bison SMG. So the Bison is one that I feel is kind of underrated, and I think I like it a lot more than the community does. I still think in general it's regarded as a good weapon, but I think it's honestly one of my favorite guns in this game, whereas I don't see it used a lot when I'm playing. Like, I definitely see it, but it's not nearly as common as some of these other weapons. So I'm going to put it at number 8, but I personally feel like it could easily be top 6, top 5. But anyway, getting into the Bison, of course the main feature is that it comes with 64 rounds in the helical magazine by default, so you never have to worry about ammo with this thing. You can kill the entire team like twice in a 6v6 match with this thing, and it's just that in itself is great, but it also has really good damage and a time to kill, especially in the 10 up close out to about 15 meters or so. Like the TTK is like very competitive with the best guns in the game. It seems like it kills just as fast as like the MP5, the AS Val, guns like that. It seems like it can compete, even though it doesn't have a slow fire rate, but it doesn't have a very fast fire rate either. So it's like middle ground. But yeah, it shreds in my opinion. At longer ranges, you can kill people, but it is kind of less forgiving because of the average fire rate. So you definitely need to hit your shots, but it doesn't have any recoil, so that's not that hard to do. But anyway, yeah, this gun is just, I love it. I always enjoy the Bison style weapons in Call of Duty. There's been a lot of them at this point, but they're always at least viable. But in this game, I think it's one of the top 10 best weapons in the game. So, and it's one of my most used weapons on this game. And you can see by the gameplay, I mean, I'm just running circles around these guys, killing them, and it's just great. You don't have to reload a lot, and you never have to worry about running out of ammo. So, and then it's not necessarily balanced perfectly because it's still just very strong in general. So that's why I think it's a very good gun, and I'll put it at number 8. But like I said, personally, if it was my own opinion, I'd probably put it higher. And there's some SMGs coming up that I like the Bison probably more than, but I get killed by these SMGs more. And when I use them, yes, they are good. I just don't personally like them as much, but I will be objective and put them higher than the Bison. So that is this weapon. All right, and at number 7, I have the CX-9 submachine gun. So yes, we have already had 3 SMGs in a row, actually. And yes, there are going to be assault rifles on this list. It's just that The assault rifles in this game, the best ones, are very dominant and are going to be even higher on the list. So stay patient for all you assault rifle lovers out there. But anyway, the CX9, this gun has extremely fast fire rate, seemingly good damage because it kills really fast. The TTK is great, literally no recoil, and seems like really good bullet velocity. Like, I know I said all the SMGs tend to have good bullet velocity, but this might have some of the highest, is what it feels like, because at range this might be one of the best SMGs at long range. But it's also great in pretty much every scenario. It has great mobility, and I believe it is a Scorpion Evo, like kind of remake or remaster from Black Ops 2, of course. I mean, it looks like it, and it feels like it because the fire rate is so high. And it definitely kind of looks like the Scorpion. I'm not completely sure. Let me know in the comments, but I believe that is how it is. And one problem with this weapon is it comes default with 20 rounds in the magazine, which is not good, obviously, but you can level it up and get the 50-round drum mag, and then you don't have to worry about ammo after that. So this gun definitely shreds. It's definitely grown on me as well. I used to not really understand why it was so good, but I would always die to it and run into people using it, so I decided I would grind it, and I got it platinum because I had my SMG's platinum already, but obviously I didn't have this one grinded for platinum, so I just did all the camo challenges. And in that time I was like, completely understood why it's so good. So that is the CX9, and we are at number 7 on the list. So let's get into the next video, or the next weapon. Alright, coming in at number 6 on this list, I have the 7.25 shotgun. So this is one of the weapons on the list that I don't actually use pretty much ever, because I don't really like shotguns in Call of Duty, but I will admit that this gun is insane and belongs among the top 10 weapons in this game. 7.25, everybody knows, is one of the most frustrating guns to go against, and was definitely one of the most overpowered guns in the game at one point. And it is still very, very good. It's been nerfed probably 4 or 5 times, but it still dominates. It's obviously a double barrel shotgun, and the range on it is just fantastic. Like, you can get easily, 15 meters, one shot kills with this thing, as long as you hit your shots and have the correct setup on this shotgun. But playing this game in 2025, there's still a lot of people that run around with the 7.25, and it's pretty annoying. But to be honest, like, it's not that hard to counter, because you just have to be aware that you're going up against somebody using it, and then just adjust where you're going on the map so that they can't kill you, because they can only kill you at close range. So that is why I don't personally love the 7.25. It's really good and it's pretty fun to use, but I just don't like how limited your playstyle is when you have to use a shotgun. But like I said, totally belongs among the best weapons in the game. And yeah, it still absolutely slaps. And like I said, it's really fun to use and it's satisfying. It's just that for my playstyle, it doesn't work. I like to be able to engage fights at all ranges, and you just can't do that with the 7.25 or any shotgun for that matter, unless you use slug rounds. But the slug rounds take away just the absurd close range dominance of this gun, so wouldn't recommend slugs. But anyway, yeah, I don't love shotguns in Call of Duty, but the 7.25 is very good. Alright guys, we are getting into the top 5 weapons in Modern Warfare. So coming in at number 5, I have the Uzi SMG, and specifically the Uzi submachine gun with the .41 AE rounds. So these are a different ammo type that you can put on the gun, and they increase the damage and range while also increasing the recoil on this gun. So specifically the Uzi with that ammo mod. The base Uzi with the 9mm ammo is pretty good. It is definitely not bad. I'd say it's viable, but not in the top 10. But with those rounds, easily top 5 weapon in the game. It has a moderate rate of fire, but the damage is just insanely high. And if you hit your shots, this thing is an absolute monster. And one of the sweatiest guns in the game. Some of the sweats on this game really love the Uzi, and I do enjoy the Uzi as well. I don't love SMGs that have slower rates of fire, but you cannot deny that this is just a powerhouse of a gun. And it's nice to see an Uzi actually be really good in a Call of Duty game. Usually the Uzi is just like not that great, like, you know, Black Ops 1, COD 4, it's just like, you know, you can use it, but it's not going to be very good compared to the best guns in the game. So, yeah, the Uzi is just a beast, and I finally found a setup that I like for it. The one I'm using in the gameplay. There's just something I didn't like about the Uzi. I just didn't love it as much as other guns, but you throw on the reflex sight, and for some reason it just like, it makes me love the gun. I think it might be the way it looks as well, with the reflex sight on there. But anyway, yeah, the Uzi is just a beast. I don't know what else I can really say about it. It's dominant at all ranges, up close, long range. Like I said, it does have a little bit of bouncy, slightly bouncy recoil, but it's really not that hard to control. And you only need like about 3 or 4 bullets to kill somebody. So the Uzi is great, and I definitely believe it belongs in the top 5. And I have it ranked as the second best SMG in the game. So let's get on to the number 4 spot. Alright, and coming in at number 4, I have a little bit of a hot take, the AS Val Assault Rifle. And it being only at number 4 is kind of the hot take, because a lot of people, I think, feel like the AS Val is the best gun in this game. And, you know, I wouldn't argue with you if you said that necessarily. I wouldn't say you're completely wrong. But personally, I think that it's only the 4th best gun in this game. But that's not to say it's not insanely good. And honestly, the top 4 are very hard to rank for me, and it was kind of difficult making the order. So you could pretty much move them around, and I wouldn't be mad. But the AS Val is an assault rifle with an insanely high rate of fire, insane damage, low recoil most of the time. Sometimes the recoil can be kind of tricky at range, but the time to kill is just insane, and it dominates at all ranges. You can use it as an assault rifle, meaning it's good at medium to long range, and it can hold its own up close. Or you can use it up close and just use it as an SMG essentially, and it's very good. And just use it as the jack of all trades weapon. It's very good at all ranges, all engagements. It's a beast. The one thing about the AS Val that I don't like, but they had to do this, you know, Activision had to balance it this way. There's only 30 bullets in the mag at the most. So, and that I don't like, and that is why it's at number 4. If this thing had a 60 round mag, it would be number 1, no questions asked. But the fact that you can only have 30 bullets in the mag means you have to reload a lot. And sometimes, yes, you can kill, you know, 3 or 4 people in one mag pretty easily. But sometimes you'll use your entire mag trying to kill somebody at a decent range, and the recoil will kind of mess with you, and you'll miss most of your shots and then have to reload without even getting a kill. And that is why, personally, it's at number 4. But yes, this gun is insane. I do enjoy using it. It's a very sweaty gun. It has a reputation as like, if you use this gun, you're not good, because you're just using the AS Val, so you don't have to be good to do well with this weapon. But it's a very good gun, and I do enjoy using it. And like I said, if you said it's the best gun in the game, I really wouldn't argue with you, but that's the AS Val. Alright, into the top 3. At number 3, I have the M4A1 assault rifle. So the M4A1 is amazing. It has a fast fire rate, you know, 850 or 800 rounds per minute, around there. So fast fire rate for an assault rifle. Good damage, very good time to kill. The mobility is pretty solid, and there's just very little recoil. It's so smooth. It is easily, for me, the most satisfying weapon in the game to use. It's just so good. It's just so, I would say, buttery smooth, if you will. It's just amazing, and I love the M4A1. It's always been really good in this game. Like, when the game came out, it was hands down the best weapon in the game, and it never really fell too far from that. Of course, I have it at number 3, so that means the top dog in the game. So the M4A1 is just a beast, and it's very good at all ranges and all engagements. It competes with any other weapon in the game, and usually is better than most of the weapons. So the M4A1 definitely belongs among the best weapons in the game. If you said it was the best, I would honestly agree with you. Like, I would have no problem with that. It's so good, and I love using it, and it looks amazing as well. I have gold camo on it in this gameplay. It looks amazing, and that is the M4A1. So one thing about the M4A1 is it's always good in Call of Duty. I don't think it's ever been bad. in a COD game, and it's usually at least viable and top tier a lot of the time. Like in this game, Modern Warfare 2022, Call of Duty 4, the M4 was really good. If you count the like Commando is kind of an M4, although it's obviously a different weapon, but same archetype of weapon, the Commando and like Black Ops. The XM4 in the new Black Ops games is very good, so the M4 is always good, and I would highly recommend using it, and you just cannot go wrong with the M4. So in this game, I love it, and one of the best guns in the game for sure. Alright, and at number 2, I have the MP5 submachine gun. So, yes, the MP5, everybody knows it's a beast in this game, and it always has been, always will be. And it's probably definitely top 3 favorite weapons in the game just in general. And you just cannot go wrong with the MP5. It's super smooth. It honestly has a lot of similarity to the M4, just in the way that I would describe them in the game. Super smooth, have always been good in the game since the beginning, and just extremely satisfying to use, like very similar to the M4 in those regards. But yeah, the MP5 is a beast and excels at all ranges, very little recoil, the iron sights are great, and it looks amazing, and it's just an iconic gun. You know, the MP5 is extremely iconic Call of Duty gun, and I love it in this game. I have it at number 2. If you said it was number 1 or number 3 or 4, I'd be alright with that. But I have it at number 2 personally because I love submachine guns. I love playing very aggressive, as hopefully you guys can see through the gameplays that I've been having in the background. But yeah, the MP5 is just a beast. You can use the 9mm rounds or the 10mm rounds, whichever one you prefer. Personally, I think the 9mm standard ammunition is better, just because it seems like the time to kill is pretty much the same. And I honestly think it's better faster because, you know, theoretically, because the 10mm rounds do have a little bit of recoil, and sometimes I miss some shots. But like I said, either one you can use, but I would recommend the 45 round mags on this gun, to be honest. But the hip fire is extremely good and satisfying. You can just hip fire with this thing if you want, and you'll get so many kills. But yeah, the MP5, and another similarity with the M4 is that the MP5 is always good. It's never been bad in Call of Duty, and it's generally one of the best weapons in a given game. And this is probably the best MP5 that we've ever gotten in Call of Duty history, and I think that's hands down. I don't know if you can really argue with that. Maybe the Call of Duty 4 MP5, that gun was very, very good. That might be the only one. I might be forgetting something, but yeah, this MP5 is just legendary and one of my favorite weapons in this game for sure. But we are moving on to the number 1 spot, and if you guys don't know what it is, think about it for a second. It should come to you. It is a DLC weapon. It was not in the game at launch. And just think about it. I have not mentioned it yet, and it is an assault rifle. So let's get into it. Alright, at number 1, the best weapon in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I have the CR56 AMAX assault rifle. So if this gun is very good. It might be even more highly regarded in Warzone. It was very good in Warzone, which I loved using in Warzone, of course, but in multiplayer, it's very, very good. It just kills super fast, low recoil, pretty, you know, average fire rate, not super fast fire rate, but it just absolutely melts. The iron sights with the Zodiac barrel, which is the, you know, the long barrel that everybody uses on this gun, makes the gun look amazing, and the iron sights are just beautiful. And I don't know what else to say. This gun is just absolutely insane. You can play aggressive with it. I mean, obviously the assault rifles, movement speeds, if you balance your loadout to have good control for recoil as well as movement speeds, it's never going to be as fast as a submachine gun. But as long as you take your engagements properly, pre-aim, aim, walk around corners, this thing is insane. And I have it as the number 1, but like I said, these top 4 are pretty interchangeable for me. But yeah, the AMAX, I love this gun. And one thing about it is kind of interesting. I'm pretty sure it is a Galil type weapon, so it is not Russian, but it just gives me off Russian vibes. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but it makes me feel like it's some sort of AK variant kind of thing, or AN-94 type variant. Not really A94, but it feels like an AK type archetype of weapon, but it's not, which is kind of surprising to me. But I love the AMAX. Let me know what you guys think about that. Like, does it feel kind of like a Russian-made weapon to you, even though it's actually not? Kind of weird thing. I don't know if anybody will understand what I'm saying about that. But anyways, the AMAX, I have it as the #1 gun in this game, and I think a lot of you will probably agree with me. Very popular gun in the game, and whenever people are using it, they're usually doing good because this gun is unstoppable in the right hands. But anyway, that is my list of the top 10 best guns in Modern Warfare 2019. Let me know what you guys think. Pretty sure I'm going to do some honorable mentions after this. Just to let you guys know, there are a lot of guns in this game that did not make the list that are good and I just did not think that they were the best in the game. But we'll get into some of the other good guns, just so I know there's going to be guns that were not on the list that people are going to be like, wow, where was this gun? And I understand that. So we'll get into some honorable mentions. But this is my list, and I have the CR56 AMAX as the best gun in this game. Alright, so as far as honorable mentions go, I have a couple weapons that I think are pretty close to being possibly in the top 10 in this game, but did not quite make the cut for me. So I would start that off with the Kilo, which you're going to be seeing in the gameplay. Kilo 141 assault rifle, pretty dang good, just very well-rounded, but not one of the best, but still very solid. And then the Grau assault rifle, which is what I would also say for the Grau. Same kind of description applies to the Kilo and the Grau. Really like those two weapons. I would also say that the Kar98K marksman rifle, especially in the hands of a quick-scoping demon, you know, probably could be considered top 10, but for me, I definitely like the AX50 more, but the Kar98K is definitely good. And then the next one, I would say the PKM LMG, which definitely fries. It's just not fast enough for my playstyle, but it is really good, and if you're an LMG player, you will cook with it. And then lastly, I've got the AK-47, which I do like the AK-47 assault rifle a lot, especially with the ammunition modification that increases the fire rate and I think it might just be the fire rate and then lowers the recoil, but that is really fun, and the AK is pretty solid, but definitely not one of the top 10 guns in the game. But anyway, y'all, those are my top 10 guns in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, and a couple honorable mentions. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what other type of Call of Duty content you'd like to see, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.